Good morning, Sammy Joe. We are officially 2 minutes late, which I feel like in mom terms, that's a pretty good number. Like it's a lot, but not a lot. It's enough, but then you're fashionably late.
Right? Although I have learned with the school, if he is not there when they shut that door, bringing him in from like the recess area, you got to take him to the front.
You
Now
gotta
you're
take you
late.
gotta take him to the
The
front
walk,
office and
the walk of shame.
explain that the cattle were out or something.
Thankfully, we actually have not had to do that yet, but there have been a couple times it was screeching into the finish line.
Right? Gotta love it. Well, good morning,
Happy
everybody.
Wednesday.
Happy Women's Rodeo Wednesday. Sorry we missed everybody last week. Sammy Joe was on the trail to the Kimes $1 Million Breakaway in Guthrie, Oklahoma from Farson, Wyoming. So she was on the
Woo!
road. I feel like I was doing something too, but I'm not quite sure what I was doing. Nothing as important as Sammy Joe, but um,
I don't know.
we were very much on the trail with you guys last week, and so we're back this week just to kind of recap and hash things out. And Sammy Joe, tell me all about
Yes. I
Guthrie.
want to start by just congratulating. They had 435 girls entered in, right, in the
Yep.
first qualifier for the Kimes Ranch $1 Million Breakaway. We had over 100 girls that entered the women's side pot packages. And again, just congratulations. If you've not seen those results, Kimes has actually shared on their page this morning too those 5 challenger names. So check that out. I'm going to actually show you guys right here too. So open this right up and you'll see Landry, Sonia, Georgia, Shaylee, Kirsten. You guys all rocked it there in Oklahoma, and it was awesome roping.
I think it's cool to see Sonia on there because that's mom, right, of Team
Yes.
Freeriders. I love to see mother daughters coming to all these events and being able to compete together, and that's pretty cool. So,
No,
congrats to the
yeah,
Waltz.
the amount of money, $150,000 was paid out, 30,000 in the round, 60,000 in the aggregate. Oklahoma's richest was going on at the same time, and Chris had an amazing amount of added money in the open and the challenger, and it was one heck of a weekend for breakaway roping, that is for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, kudos to Chris Neal's team. What an undertaking that they did. And just to prove that they can do it when we go to Scottsdale. And congratulations to Kimes for an amazing turnout. I don't know how they couldn't be happy with 450 gals entered in their qualifier. And then I mean, they're just going to gear up and get ready to go to beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona at Westworld, and the week of Thanksgiving, and it's super just exciting for the sport and the industry, and for Kimes and CN Productions for allowing women's to be part of it and have that awesome challenger side pot to let those ladies rope for 25,000 extra dollars within the already $1 million that's in there. So it's pretty amazing, really, what they did last week. And I don't know, did you ever hear like how many horses or anything were on the grounds or anything like that? I can only imagine.
I never did, but I mean, with all of the tie down roping and all the classes that Oklahoma's Riches offered, I mean, I'm sure the entries were over 1,000, maybe even 1,500. So, yeah, there was thousands of people walking around, and I loved seeing. I was able to bring my 3-year-old daughter Cashley with me, and all the little girl journey, and there were several. Just it's so cool to see the future of the sport too, and why we're doing this.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. And I always tell Sammy Joe because I try to take my boys with me if I can get talk them into it sometimes. But
Right?
I always try to take them because it's they need our children are we kind of leave them behind a lot and they don't get to see all the cool things that mom gets to do. When you had when you have a rodeo cowboy husband, they think dad hung the moon and all the cool things that dad got to do rodeoing. And so I try to make my boys go as much as I can make them or tell them or bribe them into it. So when Sammy Joe asked me, like, should I take her? I'm like, yes, you have you have to, because they have to see all the cool stuff. Though it's boring, and you get a little tablet time, but a little extra. But it's cool. I'm so glad that you got to take her. I mean, that's fun, and she made the trip without like a catastrophic meltdown. So, good job, Mom.
Yes. So I think, Lindsay, let's start with, for anybody that's brand new to the Kimes Ranch and maybe you saw the awesome footage we posted and you're at home going, man, how do I get into that? Maybe we start from the top and just review kind of what's happened, but now what's to come.
Absolutely, for sure. So we were just in Guthrie, Oklahoma, October 18th through the 20th. They had 3 individual rounds. So one on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. They took 20 out of the go rounds and 20 out of the average, which made 80 ladies advance to the semifinals, which is November the 28th at Westworld in Scottsdale, Arizona. On the 27th in Scottsdale, Arizona is the last chance qualifier. Now the kicker to that is it's not open entries. There's only 250 girls that are going to be, I guess able would be the right word, to enter that last chance qualifier. And entries are open now on Next Gen. So if you want to go to Scottsdale November 27th, you need to get on there and enter. But you need to enter the Women's Rodeo World Championship side pot packages if you're a challenger or a pro, to really ante up those points that you're going to be able to get at the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, so the we took 5 challengers. So if there were challengers that placed in the top 20 of the rounds or top 20 of the average, we did drop down and then award the highest placing challenger in each round and the highest 2 challengers from the average, so that the end goal is to get to the semifinals. Each athlete earns 1 unique entry into the semifinals. So I know I'm going to jump ahead on some of the questions that were submitted, but some people have asked, if I was at Oklahoma's Richest and I qualified into the semifinals, can I still enter the last chance qualifier to jackpot that money? And the answer is no. The whole idea this year is for everybody to get that 1 entry into the semifinals. Chris Neal and the Kimes team did encourage us to tell you that they plan for next year to open that week up, and it will be a huge jackpot for everybody to enter. So exciting things to come in 2025. But yes, for this year, if you're brand new, you haven't qualified to the semifinals yet, maybe you went to Oklahoma's Richest and those Cavs were strong. So you get yourself a second chance to enter the last chance qualifier. Those entries are open now in Next Gen. As Lindsay said, it's capped to 250. And I think yesterday I saw it was already almost halfway, maybe over halfway full, actually. So get in there, get entered. It's in Next Gen. And you can enter that women's side pot package. So we have pros, challengers, and limited. Each of those classifications has its own side pot package that you can enter. With that, you get a nomination for the last chance qualifier or the semifinals, whichever side pot package you're entering, a nomination for the side pot. $40 of that goes back into a side pot payout. Plus, all of you challengers will have that opportunity to advance to the Challenger Showcase. So
it's really just an awesome way to get more bang for your buck, entering those side pot packages for your nominations. So you can win money. You get nominations for both the side pot and the regular last chance qualifier. So really, just when you're going through Next Gen, it's kind of a click the box and enter that side pot as well, and just get it all done at once.
Yep, exactly. So Then everybody then that has qualified to the semifinals will compete November 28th. And as it says right here on this graphic, so it's the 80 girls from Oklahoma's Richest, the 40 girls that advance in from the last chance qualifier, plus 5 from the buyback round, and then the 5 qualifiers that came in from the world standings, and our 11 women's challengers. So everybody then competing in the semifinals, if you are a challenger, you can enter the challenger side pot package and have your chance at advancing to the challenger showcase, which let's look at that. So the challenger showcase will be on November 28th as well. It's between round 1 and 2 of the $1 million. We have been asked, okay, so if I have a really good day and I advance to the $1 million breakaway, but I am the highest placing challenger to go on to the showcase, can I compete in both? The answer is no. If you're advancing to that $1 million breakaway, we're going to drop down to the next challenger and give another girl a chance at that money, since you're roping for the $1 million in the $1 million breakaway.
Good to know.
Yes. That is the payout for the challenger showcase. So there may be 40 challengers, Lindsay, that are competing in the semifinals, and the entry fee for the semifinals is $750. So you're guaranteed your fees back if you advance on to the showcase. And yeah, $10,000 paid out that day.
It's just another, and that is on top of the money that you can already win. So it's just an added bonus. It's its own round, right, Sammy Jo?
Yep.
During the $1 million breakaway, those ladies, the format for the $1 million breakaway on the 28th is at 8 a.m. is when the semifinals will start. The challenger breakaway for the WRWC is at 9. At 12 is the open breakaway, and at 6:30 that night is the $1 million breakaway on, all the girls that are in off that flow chart of who gets into that. And it's round 1, 2, and 3. And the showcase is after round 2. So that's when those ladies will get there. And
yeah,
then
I think
go ahead.
Since you're talking the schedule, on Chris Neal, so cnproductions.com/rising stars, you guys, and I'll zoom in here so you can see it a little bit better. He has the schedule for that full weekend on his website. Same thing that just happened this past weekend. Oklahoma's Richest was running simultaneously with the $1 million breakaway qualifier. For Scottsdale next month, Rising Stars, which is one of Chris's biggest ropings, will also be happening simultaneously as the $1 million last chance qualifier and the $1 million finals, as well as the Challenger Showcase. So it all starts on Wednesday, November 27th. At 8 a.m. is that last chance qualifier. Again, it's limited to 250. That one will be in the Equidome. Then at 6 p.m. that night will be the buyback round. So if you didn't make it in that last chance qualifier, you'll have one more chance to enter the buyback and compete there. Then on Thursday, the 28th at 8 a.m. in the Equidome is where the semifinals will begin. But then Rising Stars will also be happening that day. 9 a.m. will be the Challenger breakaway, and 12 p.m. will be the Open Ladies breakaway. I know Chris was awesome. His team was so great about helping roll. If you were up at the same time in both arenas, they accommodated everybody. So if you're concerned about that because you're entering every roping, just make sure you over communicate with Chris's team and they'll help get you.
So the other thing, though, with the Rising Stars is that it's a qualifier series for Women's Rodeo World Championship. So when you enter the Rising Stars, you want to make sure to enter those side pot packages. So that's the only way that you can get that qualifier series spot, which is your guaranteed pathway right to Women's Rodeo World Championship round 1 and round 2 in May in Fort Worth. So so many, it's can get a little I mean, heavy is the only word that I can think, that there's so many things going on. And when you're entering, making sure that you're entering the right packages, and you want to give yourself the best opportunities that you can as a roper. So when you enter the last chance qualifier, you enter the side pot. When you enter Rising Stars, you enter the side pot, pro, challenger, limited. Limited, you have your own side pot. So just know that's another chance for more money when you're going to the Rising Stars or the $1 million breakaway.
And if you're unsure what classification you are, and you want to know that first, reach out to our team. You can either email support@wrwc.rodeo. You can call that number on the screen, and our team will help tell you whether you're pro, challenger, or limited before entering those side pot packages. Same thing with the challenger breakaway. So we encourage everybody to, the whole point of being in that challenger roping for Rising Stars is it's an isolated competition. It's not an open. You're not competing against everyone, all the pros. It's just the challenger girls. And so to buy your women's card and to pay the side pot package gives you a really good chance, like Lindsay said, to get a guaranteed spot to Women's Rodeo World Championship in May, as well as earning points, earning the side pot payout. So I think heavy is definitely the perfect descriptor for that. But our team is here to help you. We will also be on site helping answer questions. We gave some swag away, some hoodies and hats for all the girls that entered the side pot packages. We'll plan to do the same thing in Scottsdale. So a lot of reasons and benefits. And if you're really brand new and you've never even competed with us, Women's Rodeo Championships is eligible if you're 13 years old and up. You can participate with us. All you have to do is buy your card in Next Gen, which is $150, and then start entering and earning points.
Yeah, absolutely. So $630 million breakaway, round 1, 2, and 3, and the Challenger Showcase will be after round 2. That is Thanksgiving. I know that Chris has some amazing caterers coming in to have a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner for everybody. And I think that you can buy tickets for that dinner as well on Next Gen. So go ahead and let somebody else cook Thanksgiving dinner for you that day and enjoy some awesome roping.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Friday, for Rising Stars, there's the 12 and under breakaway and tie down, the 15 and under breakaway, and the 3D breakaway. But at 6:30 p.m. will be the rounds 4, 5, and 6 for the $1 million breakaway. And that is going to be a sight to see for sure. And then it looks like the Rising Stars have a top 5 showcase, which is awesome. Then Saturday, again, a lot of Rising Stars classes. You can see all those there. 6:30 p.m. will be the last 4 rounds of the $1 million breakaway, and they're doing some more showcases. So it really is just going to be a family event. Your kids can rope and be showcased in the $1 million. You can rope yourself and be in the $1 million. Your husbands, there's the Calcuttas were insane, Lindsay, at Oklahoma's Richest, and I believe they'll be insane again.
Another fun way to get a little gambling.
Get the family involved, get the husbands involved, yeah. Then Sunday, December 1st, this is huge. They're going to do a first chance qualifier for next year's event. I talked to Chris for a bit yesterday, and y'all, I'm telling you, next year they're just going to up the ante. And like mentioned earlier, the last chance, instead of it being limited, everybody can enter that week in Scottsdale. I know that several asked about how youth girls could be involved more in the $1 million. Chris has some ideas for that. We, of course, plan to be present again with the Challenger opportunities for 2025. So you're already there.
Limited as well. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. So speaking of limited, I have a question.
Okay.
If I'm a limited athlete, what side pot do I enter? Okay. And do I enter the challenger? Am I still eligible to stay on the leaderboard for the limit? What do I do if I'm a limited and I want to go to the last chance qualifier? I want to spend my Thanksgiving in Scottsdale, and I really want to get on that leaderboard to get to Women's Rodeo World Championship as a limited, because one limited competition cowgirl is going to go to AT&T, and I want to be that gal. So if I'm a limited, where am I at on this spectrum?
Yeah. So first I want to start with Rising Stars, because there is that challenger roping, and the limited girls can enter that, still be in that isolated competition where the pros aren't competing. But then there is a limited side pot package for $150. That side pot package will just be paid to the limited girls that are entered in it, and we'll have a limited qualifier series spot where you get that guarantee. The highest placing limited girl that enters our side pot will get a guaranteed position to the limited competition at Women's Rodeo World Championship. So 100% Rising Stars, enter the challenger, enter the limited side pot. That will get you the chance at earning a guaranteed spot to women's in May. Now for the $1 million, you're going to enter the last chance. So that's a $500 entry fee. There is a pro, challenger, and limited side pot package for Kimes Ranch $1 million. So again, you're isolated in your competition of all the limited girls entering it, and you're eligible for that side pot payout, which is $40 of the $150. But then for advancement to the Challenger Showcase, what we decided to do was combine the challengers and the limited that have all entered that side pot package. And of all the girls in Challenger and Limited, we advance. So for the last chance, 1 from the round, 2 from the aggregate to the semifinals. And then if you're a limited girl competing in the semifinals, same thing. You can enter the limited side pot package, but for advancement to the showcase, you're also competing against the challengers that are entered. So always enter your side pot package that is tied to your classification. And then for the Kimes Ranch $1 million, we just combine challengers and limited to advance you to the challenger showcase.
Okay. Kristen had a question about first chance roping, and there wasn't a side pot available. Yes, we will get with Next Gen and make sure that's on there. I'm not sure that we knew that the entries were open for the first chance roping yet. So we will make sure that we get with our wonderful folks with Next Gen and get that kind of rocking and rolling for everybody.
Yeah, Kristen, we'll send you a message too once it's open so you can get in there. That's a great question.
Yeah. Thank you. What is the difference between the side pot package for Rising Stars and the side pot package for $1 million Breakaway? I do have another question. If I entered the last chance qualifiers side pot, okay, do I have to enter the side pot when I enter the $1 million, if I advance all the way to the $1 million, so that I can accumulate those points as well on the leaderboard? Do I need to nominate again for the million, for the last rounds of the $1 million?
Okay, so the $1 million breakaway. So the girls there will be 25 girls competing in 10 rounds. That event is not eligible to nominate. Okay. Just like the NFR, because it's an isolated group, a lot of points, it would probably, for the integrity of our leaderboard, we don't allow those big of events to be nominated. So where the nominations end is after the semifinals. The semifinal round is where everybody entered in the semis. There'll be that pro, challenger, and limited side pot package. You will want to go in and enter those. So you're earning points with the nominations. You're earning an additional side pot payout. And then all of those girls that are either challenger or limited are eligible to advance to the showcase.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
And so the other question was, what's the difference between Rising Stars and $1 million Breakaway? I saw it myself this past weekend. A lot of girls got confused. They thought they were entered in the $1 million Breakaway side pot package, but they really entered the Oklahoma's Richest side pot package. So my encouragement to everyone is if you are entering Rising Stars, either the Open or Challenger, make sure you have a side pot package entry tied to your Rising Stars entries. And then
because it's a qualifier series.
Yes, it is so important because we only have a handful of those qualifier series events left, and you can get yourself, no matter if you're inside or outside of the top 20, you have a guaranteed spot to Women's Rodeo World Championship in May. So Rising Stars entries, make sure you have a side pot package entry tied to it. And then $1 Million Breakaway for the last chance qualifier, you want to make sure you have a side pot package entry tied to it. And then once you advance to the semifinals, or if you're already qualified to the semifinals, you'll want to make sure you have a side pot entry tied to your semifinals as well. So just good rule of thumb.
Well, here's I have another question before you go further.
Okay.
I enter the last chance qualifier. I enter the side pot package. I enter Rising Stars. I enter the side pot package. I get into the semifinals, but I have to pay that entry fee, and then I go. Is it all going to be on Next Gen so that I can just click the box for my side pot package for the semifinals as well? Because we're not entering the semifinals until for sure we know, unless you're already advanced.
Right. Yeah. So the 80, I believe it's 86 girls have earned their spot to the semifinals. They're entering in Next Gen right now. And you have I know for a fact those side pot packages are open and ready to go. So enter, if you're getting in the semifinals, add that side pot package right away to it. And then same thing with the last chance qualifier. You do have to, in Next Gen, you have the opportunity to add the side pot package. Now, there were some girls that entered, but then forgot to add their side pot package. Once pre-entries close, what Next Gen does is they open a separate like women's side pot package event, and it's under Women's Rodeo Championships. We're not there yet. So pre-entries are still open. Just enter the side pot package when you submit your entry in Next Gen. But you have up until the roping starts to add your side pot package to your entry.
So there's time.
There's a little time, yes. But just don't forget is our only encouragement.
Yeah. I mean, it's a horrible feeling to have to kind of be the bearer of bad news for Sammy Joe or anybody, on staff that's there to say like,
I'm so sorry. It happened. Just the girl that won the Challenger was like, I entered the $1 Million, but I forgot to enter Oklahoma's Richest. And so it does happen, and we don't want that to be you. So, yeah.
Because it sucks, and it sucks to be that guy to say, like, I'm sorry you didn't enter it. You were entered in, like you said, the $1 Million and not the Rising Star, so you don't get the QS. And it's terrible. So if you have questions, please reach out. We have so many amazing reps and support staff that is there to help answer any questions, especially with the side pots. And like I said, these events with two huge ropings happening simultaneously, it can get heavy and daunting. And there's a lot of different things you got to click the box for. Just slow down, make you a list. Rising Stars, side pot. $1 Million semifinal or last chance, side pot. $1 Million semifinals, side pot. Like, just make sure that when you're going through and you're entering on Next Gen, that you have all of those things that you need to be entered in, because we want to get you girls the most points that you can earn and win the most money that you can win, and you can win money at all of those side pots too. So it's so cool, and there's a lot happening, and there's a lot going on those weeks, and I can only imagine how exciting it's going to be there in Scottsdale for Thanksgiving and for the Rising Stars and the $1 Million Breakaway. Kudos to, like we said, Chris Neal and the Kimes family for just
making it happen.
Women in history to make that happen. It's pretty cool to be part of it, and we're just super excited to have a chance for ladies to have the Challenger. Okay, my last question, and it's not going to happen, but I've been to a couple rodeos in my life, and it can happen. What if everybody has a rut row in the Challenger showcase at the $1 million. What happens?
So for what happens in the payout?
Yes.
So let's pull the payout up again. So like Lindsay said, the $750 is a guaranteed appearance fee. Whether you catch your calf or not, you get that $750 check for making your way all the way to the Challenger incentive. And then the rest of the money, so for first through fourth, anything over that 750 essentially turns into ground money. So if one girl catches, she's going to have a heck of a payday. And so, but yes, all 10 of you will get a guaranteed $750, regardless of whether that rope goes around the neck or not. And then the rest of the money turns into ground money. So, and if it doesn't, then that ground money will not be paid out.
How many? There's 10 challengers that get to rope in the Challenger showcase, Kristen.
Yeah, so Kristen, we take 2 from the rounds and 4, 2, 4, 6, yeah, and 4 from the aggregate to take 10 to the showcase from the semifinals. So of the 100 plus girls competing in the semifinals, if you are a challenger, whether you advanced in from a challenger spot or not, you can enter the Challenger limited side pot package and be eligible to be the top 2 in the rounds, top 4 in the aggregate from the semis to advance to the Challenger showcase.
And there's some money in the last chance qualifier as well, for these Challenger ladies, isn't there?
Yeah, so we added $5,000 in the side pot package for what just happened this past weekend, the first qualifier. We have another, help me, Lindsay, is it 5 or 10,000 added? I think it's another 10 in the last chance. No, 5. Sorry, guys, 5,000 in the last chance, and then the $10,000 showcase. So again, just tons of money. If you did place in the side pot at the first qualifier that just happened, we are finalizing those results. We'll get those checks paid, if not end of this week, for sure first of next week. So stay tuned. Check the leaderboard on Thursday. We should get those points up as well. So yeah, it's just such an exciting time for breakaway roping.
Yeah, it is. There was, back to just everybody. Let's see. October 30th, we have the mock fraternity and open 40 at American Paradise Ranch in Paradise, Texas. There's a side pot package for you barrel racers. We're not forgetting about you. I feel like we've been talking so much about Keim's $1 Million Breakaway, and
what else is out there? Yeah.
Yeah, there's barrel races happening with side pot packages as well. So that was just one that kind of came across my feed. And then we have a team roping in Guthrie this weekend, isn't it, Sammy Jo?
Yeah, the World Cup finals. So that's a qualifier series for the team ropers. We do have some more barrel racing and team roping to announce soon on some more QSs coming up. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, these are some big events happening, big money, but we've just posted this past week all events that are coming up to nominate this week and weekend. I know the INFR is going on right now. Before we know it, the IFR will be here. So yeah, make sure you're nominating wherever you're going and earning those points. And Erica asked, can I enter the side pot multiple times? Like if I was nominating? Absolutely. It's a great way to double down, earn points for every run that you have, as well as being eligible for that side pot payout for both of your runs. So yes, Erica, absolutely.
Danielle has a question too. Had a lot of girls ask me how the payout in the side pot works and not been able to answer that. Is there a breakdown somewhere?
Yeah, so Danielle, the side pot payout just, of course, depends on how many enter it. The goal is to at least pay back in the average your fees. But like we had 65 challengers enter this last weekend, and that pot's over with our added money almost $10,000. So we're going to pay in the rounds and the aggregate. So it really just depends on where we end up with entries. But the protocol for our team is we start at the average and we try to at least pay back your fees from the side pot.
So the World Cup team roping, the side pots are open on Next Gen as well. You go to Women's Rodeo, our little icon over there, you click on that, and then you can enter those side pots for the Guthrie World Cup team roping this weekend. So really, ladies in the team roping, go ahead and jump on there. That's how you're going to get that QS spot. You have to enter that side pot package in the pro and the challenger. There is no limited classification in the team roping. It's just the two. So there's just the two side pots, but you got to go on to Next Gen and nominate or enter the side pots to get your nomination for that QS spot at the World Cup team roping in Guthrie. So we're excited about that. I know it's going to be a great event. If you are new to us, you need to make sure you kind of get your card bought probably in the next couple of days. If you have any issues, let us know. Support at WRWC.rodeo, and we will make sure we get that fast tracked for you so that you can get in that side pot package.
Yeah, Brittany asked, does the division depend on entries as well? I've been asked what the D is for the World Cup side pot. So our side pots are Division 5s, and then the Open itself is always a Division 2. So if it's a women's qualifier series, we always make those Division 2 events. But also, if you ever have questions about how events are divisionalized, you can also reach out to events@wcrarodeo.com, and they can kind of give you a breakdown of why and how events are divisionalized D1 through D5.
So remember, those side pot packages, you get a nomination for the major roping, the big roping, the World Cup, and you get a nomination for the side pot as well. So you get kind of two chances at points when you're competing in those side pot packages.
Yep.
Thanks
for all the questions. Yeah, I love it.
Everyone's getting so used to having Wednesday mornings with us, I think. I love it. It's so fun. It's a reason to not put a ball cap on and do something with your hair, I guess.
Yeah. Danielle, we are working on the Women's Rodeo World Championship details. Love the idea on host hotels. It's a crazy time with the PBR World Finals, but we'll definitely ask and see what we can do on that. So stay tuned.
For sure. Let's throw the dates up again for Women's Rodeo World Championship. Look for a lot of information coming out with the Cowgirl Gathering, which would be the weekend before. And then Women's Rodeo World Championship Round 1 starts May 12th through the 14th. And then our finals will end at AT&T Stadium on the 17th of May. Remember, goat tires. I know that college rodeos for the fall are starting to kind of gear down a little bit. Go ahead and nominate and get on that leaderboard for the Go Tying Showcase. That's going to be on the 13th. We do have thank you to Smarty Rodeo Equipment for coming in. They are going to award the champion goat tire with a Smarty horse. I don't know if anybody has seen those, but they're not they cost a little bit and they are awesome and they are totally worth the money. But our Goat Tying Showcase champion is going to get a Smarty horse. And we're super excited about that. There is 10,000 added for that Goat Tying Showcase. So you college ladies, you can only old ladies goat tying. I would love that, Michelle. But we're only using those college rodeos right now to accumulate points on that goat tying leaderboard. So make sure you get your college rodeos nominated. Get your card bought, nominate those college rodeos because we're excited about that Goat Tying Showcase. Smarty, I'm actually repping my Smarty from Breakaway.
That's
my
awesome.
Smarty Wild Rag from being at the Breakaway.
I love it.
We're so thankful to Smarty for coming on board. and really believing in the ladies and the goat tying and giving these ladies another chance to have a big platform. So thank you to
Awesome.
Smarty. But College Rodeo ladies, get your goat tying nominated because we're super pumped about it. It's going to be great.
Yes. Well, I think that's a wrap for this week, Lindsay. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll be back next week.
Yep. Happy Women's Wednesdays, everybody, and we hope you have a wonderful and blessed day because it's a good day to have a good day, right?
That's right. All right. Have a good day, everybody. See ya.
Thank you.